Yeah, and we're still talking a lot about wildfires. That is the big picture here, the big story. In Oregon, we're seeing a number of wildfires popping up and have been for the last couple of weeks here. The good news is in Portland, we haven't really seen much impact from smoke from these wildfires. We're continuing with blue skies outside. It is another gorgeous start to the afternoon, a little bit cooler today, but as we head towards the weekend, we're back in some heat. So just a beautiful continuation of our summertime weather. There's a view of downtown Portland. Out to the Dalles, you can see some high-level haze there in that weather camera. Also a tree there, right there in the corner towards the left, blowing in the winds. It is very gusty out there. We have a red flag warning in place. We'll get to that in a few moments. Stoller Winery, blue skies. Lincoln City even cleared out the clouds. Many folks enjoying some time out towards the coast now. We're seeing temperatures there in the mid-60s. Upper 60s in Portland. We're starting to warm up just a bit. We're pushing out the clouds. Again, we should see a beautiful sunnier finish to our afternoon on the east side. It's building up heat, upper 70s out towards the Dalles. There's your view again of the coast. It is just nice out there. Here's our zone planner. So today we'll see just a beautiful afternoon. The coast hitting the low to mid 60s. In the valley going with the upper 70s today. So we are straying away from the 80s. We just have a stronger westerly push of winds helping us cool down slightly. Our high pressure is starting to decrease just a bit. In the gorge, again, still breezy with elevated fire danger. Central Oregon still stuck in some smoke and haze. So there are a number of fires now popping up across the west coast, not just in Oregon, but also up in Washington. Same for California. Here's a list of several that we have been watching. About 7 fires that are of concern here. The Bootleg Fire, 200,000 acres in size. It is now the largest fire that we've seen since 2012 when we had the Long Draw fire out in southeastern Oregon. That was 500,000 acres in size. Another one that we're concerned about is the Brewer Fire that is out towards Detroit Lake. And the Game Hog Creek Fire is very close to Portland. And we will see some wind speeds of around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour, very gusty in this region where that timber is hard to get to. So hopefully firefighters can contain that fire. Again, we'll still see some breezy winds until the early morning when those winds near this fire taper off there right towards Glenwood. But there's a chance that we do see a little bit of light smoke in areas of Salem going into our afternoon. We'll track that very carefully, but still not seeing major impacts to smoke for much of Portland or the valley. Take a look at our wind gust forecast. You can see we do that red flag warning in place for these gusty winds. Models are showing those wind speeds ramping up to about 30 miles per hour from the west. It's still very dry out in this region. So fires that do start, these winds again will just fan those flames and continue to spread those fires. That goes also for areas of central Oregon. Check out our high level smoke and haze forecast. You can see a lot of that smoke staying on the east sides of the state, very clear across the coast and areas of Portland, all due to that northwesterly clean air coming off the ocean. So there isn't too much to worry about in terms of our air quality here in Portland just yet, but not the case in eastern Oregon. That will still continue to be a spot where we see dense smoke, especially around that Bootleg Fire. In general, our weather pattern remains fairly unchanged. As we head into our weekend, we start to rebuild that high pressure. It pushes back over the Pacific Northwest, so we're warming back up. Low to mid 80s, sunshine, dry weather, just an unchanging pattern here. You'll see it in the 7-day forecast. Upper 70s today and tomorrow, a little cooler, but then we start to bump back into the 80s heading into Sunday and through the rest of next week. That's your forecast. We'll be right back.